Hey, what's up? It's Dr. Greg Zeschuk of BioWare. How are you doing, sir?
I'm very relaxed.
We are, as you pointed out earlier, we are keeping it mad casual now that
Yeah.
Dragon Age Origins is on shelves.
Yeah, just what came out yesterday. Super excited, and like you said, very relaxed here in the interview.
You feel like you got a little bit of a breather before we roll into Mass Effect 2 because it's coming up sooner than we expected.
Yeah, what's funny is we actually, Ray and I sort of finished our Dragon Age playthroughs about a month ago. We just finished our Mass 2 first playthroughs. We're back at it. So there was no breather, and we're not really as relaxed as we look right now. But it's great. I mean, obviously, Dragon Age has got a wonderful reception, some fabulous reviews. Fans are loving it. Like, we can tell how many people playing with this community site and everything. It's just getting slammed, so we're really happy.
Clearly you've had time to shave recently.
I have had time to shave. I'm participating in Movember. I've shaved my mustache and I'm going to regrow it back. And it's for prostate cancer awareness and research support. So that's and we were actually going to do a thing with Dragon Age because they have so many crazy mustaches in the game that we never got around to it. And I saw Rockstars doing it. They're doing the Movember mustache. I was like, man, we had that same idea, and our mustaches are way crazier than theirs.
It's a missed opportunity for
Yeah.
synergy
Well,
right there.
you guys did a story about giant mustaches, didn't you? That was pretty cool.
There are a lot of good mustaches in this industry.
There are some very good mustaches.
So having just gotten one game out the door and being on the verge of shipping another one, how do you feel that facial hair configurations contribute to the power you need to get through a game development cycle?
Well, it's been tough. I think the facial hair is always helpful. But going back to back Dragon Age and Mass Effect 2, and like you said, it's coming out I think quite a bit earlier than folks expected. We announced January 26th for the Xbox at 360 and the PC version of Mass Effect 2, and it's coming up fast. I mean, the Christmas is a short while away. Then right after Christmas, it's the big game to get. So it's been really busy, but teams are pumping. We actually have two completely separate teams working on the products. So that actually makes it possible. I mean, fortunately, the sort of folks localizing and testing are still the same, so it's real busy for them. But everyone's pumped. I mean, Dragon Age was a pleasure to finish, and then Mass Effect 2 is looking really great as well.
Very cool. So what you said is kind of true. It definitely took us by surprise that Mass Effect 2 is following so quickly after Dragon Age. Do you guys have any concern about those games being so close together? Do you feel like maybe some people might not have finished their massive, epic Dragon Age playthroughs by the time Mass Effect 2 rolls around? I mean, was that any kind of consideration in the strategic timing of these products?
I think it's a consideration, but at the same time, it felt like to us, especially folks can get into, tuck into Dragon Age over the Christmas holidays. I mean, there'll be lots of time to finish it, even though it is a gigantic game, which you probably are well aware. I mean, it's probably, you can finish it 45, 50, but it clocks over 100 for some folks, depending on how much you want to do. So it's personal in terms of what the experience is like, and it's also very customizable. So we're thinking, what I would recommend is you play Dragon Age, then you play Mass Effect, then you play Dragon Age again, get all the PDLC, and then do the same PDLC for Mass Effect, then play the Dragon Age levels that other people make with the tool set. So probably for the next year, until Star Wars: The Old Republic, just play our games. Ignore all other games. That's what I'm recommending.
Sounds good to me, I guess. So you mentioned that you have played Mass Effect 2 start to finish now.
Yeah, both Ray and I finished it just this last week.
And I want to immediately start needling you for information, but I get the feeling you probably won't tell me that much, so...
Well, I think you get to play it today or something, don't you?
I get to play part of it.
Part of it.
You get to play all of it.
Yeah,
I guess that's the position of privilege that you're in.
It was awesome. I mean, I think it was an incredible roller coaster ride. Even more intense. It's interesting because I finished it on normal mode, then I immediately started a playthrough in Veterans, which is, of course, a more difficult difficulty. It was super hardcore. I think what's exciting about the game is the combat has been amped up. I mean, when we think about the stuff we wanted to change and improve upon for Mass Effect 1, combat was really the top of the list. We wanted people to really feel that this is a totally legitimate shooter. It's not a watered down shooter. It is as good as any shooter out there, and it is. And then on top of that, you have the depth of the biotic powers and your team members who you now can control individually. It's pretty crazy, and it was incredible to play it. And actually, what's neat about the game is you'll kind of everything will look kind of the same. It's like, hey, I got the same kind of guns, and you'll check and go, wait, I have a heavy weapon. And so there's a few things that are fundamentally different. And then once you get into combat, you'll notice that cover works differently. So all of a sudden, where you're popping in and out of cover. So if you actually, for example, run to a cover object, you'll just slide right into it. We didn't have the first one. There's also really smooth transitions in and out of cover. You can individually direct your guys, and new powers, new stuff. I think we've got some other things under our hat. It's funny. In my second playthrough, first when I played an infiltrator, which is was the guy who does a lot of sniping and stuff, and they had one totally unique power. I didn't have a mass one, which was amazing. And then I just played a Vanguard, and holy crap. There's something in the Vanguard class that is unbelievable, but I'm not telling you what it is.
All right. Something to look for.
No.
There you go.
And you may not even see it today.
Yeah.
But no, it's just I think there's a few things, things we've done in the classes, and some of the things we've done that actually there is just more and better. It's really strong, and I think that, I mean, the stuff you'll see today, you'll totally get the shooting piece. Like, I mean, you'll say, holy cow, this is like really progressed from what Mass Effect 1 was. And that's our goal, to really drive that intensity. And again, the story is really, I don't want, there's a lot of cool stuff about the story I don't want to reveal, but there's a lot of really great surprises. I think that was one of the other things I found really cool. And then finally, I did a Paragon playthrough, my first play, and I just started like the Renegade, and I've already been shocked a couple times with my Renegade stuff, but it's amazing to sort of, again, see the variation of how the game plays, in your second playthrough in a different style. It's very exciting. And I also got some of the, like Mass 1, I got some special unlocks for my new character, and I was like, ooh, we thought of everything. Good job, boys.
You really are privileged, aren't you? You get to mess with all the unlocks beforehand, no pre-order necessary.
I didn't have the dragon armor yet, though.
Right.
So that was one of the things I was like, man, where's my dragon armor? I think it was the version I was playing wasn't hooked up, and for those of you who don't know, that's like the tie-in between the Mass or Dragon Age and Mass Effect. There's actually pseudo armor that appears in both games. I think a first for games.
Nice plug there. Seamless little work.
I'm always selling.
With that increased emphasis on combat, do you feel like the sequel is kind of maybe leaning more shooter than RPG this time, or at least more so than the original game?
Definitely more so than the original. I think you'll see, like, just the game itself is more intense. I think that's really one of the sort of catch words for us that really tries to capture it. And it was purposeful, and that's not to say that RPG's watered down. I mean, actually, we took a lot of feedback from folks on inventory and how everything worked, and we've actually worked on that a bit. So we'll be some surprises we'll be revealing to folks on how that all works. But it's really slick. Another thing that's really pretty impressive is we actually got a lot of feedback from folks about like the exploring the galaxy and the kind of the payoff for that. And I can firsthand, because I've played it, can say that it makes a lot of sense now in terms of the benefit to the end game, and the whole experience of exploration is stronger, better mechanics, and there's a real integration into the overall game experience, which I think the team, again, Casey and his team did a fabulous job doing that.
Can I ask you how long your first playthrough was?
I'm not sure, but it was. I'll tell you, it was longer than Mass 1. Okay. I'll tell you that. Okay. I would even go so far as to say it was surprisingly long, but not Dragon Age long. Okay. Let me just be very clear. It's not Dragon Age long, but it's pretty beefy. And that's actually one thing I was very impressed with is that, again, like I think again, like Mass 1, it felt like the right length. Like I think one thing we really try and do is you never want to feel like you're laboring, kind of like, oh, I got another level. I mean, there's been occasional big games where I was surprised where, like, partway through, I'm like, man, is this over yet? But, like, I swear, Mass, I'm, like, on the edge of my seat the whole time.
Bring it on, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, you and your partner in crime, Dr. Ray Muzyka, you guys have sort of expanded your empire in recent months. You've kind of continued to climb the ladder and started presiding over more of the kind of EA RPG sort of sphere. Yeah. I know that includes not only BioWare, but you've got Mythic, I believe.
I work with Mythic folks.
Kind of under your umbrella now. So how are you guys managing all these different studios that are in different regions of the world, essentially? I mean, are you kind of bringing all these teams together on the same projects, or are they still kind of doing their own thing? Like, what have you done so far?
Well, I mean, in a lot of ways, we look at the whole sort of cross-section of the stuff in it's called the RPG MMO group. It's the BioWare's 3 studios, Edmonton, Montreal, and Austin, and then you add Mythic in. So we do cover, like, literally almost all corners of the continent. It's kind of crazy, actually. And what we try and do, though, is, I mean, very much like we've always treated the teams in BioWare, they're really independent units. Like, I mean, Casey runs the Mass Effect team, Mark Darrow runs Casey Hudson runs Mass Effect team, Mark Darrow runs the Dragon Age team. We got Rich Vogel, Gordon Walton running Austin, and everyone kind of does their thing. And Ray and I are there to actually act as resources to help out, to help sort of tie things together across the whole group. And then Rob Denton's running the Mythic guys, and we actually get together. We actually had a couple offsites where we got everyone together, sharing notes. I mean, there's a lot of technology sharing. There's a lot of know-how, and I think just we're kind of getting to know each other. It's been going on for a few months, and there's collaboration happening. I mean, way too early to speculate on, hey, we're going to do a split area game in any way substantially. But one thing I can say is Montreal, for example, is doing quite a bit of stuff on Mass Effect too. So there's like a lot of, we're sort of starting that expertise now, and there's actually. It's funny because there was folks in Austin working on ME2, and folks in Edmonton working on Star Wars. So we had this kind of like, hey, some of the folks on each studio working on each other's games. So we're starting to try and develop that capability, and just it's great to share. I think one of the things we actually do a lot of is people will. I mean, we actually a lot of great feedback from the Mythic folks that were playing the Dragon Age before it was out. Like, I know one of the call it for, Jeff Hickman's the exec producer there, and he was maniac. I mean, I think he probably finished Dragon Age 3 times already. And I tell him about secret things he didn't know, and get really upset and want to play it again. It was awesome.
Some plans which may or may not be legitimate leaked out recently about the post-release DLC support for Mass Effect 2. Is there anything there that you're willing to confirm or deny at this point?
I don't even know about any plans. They never tell me these things.
Okay, fair enough.
There's going to be some.
Okay.
And there's going to be a lot of it.
You heard it here first. DLC coming from Mass Effect 2.
What a reveal! No, and I think to be fair, I mean, I think one thing I talk a lot about in terms of DLC though is that, I mean, Mass 1 we wanted to have more than we did, but DLC is really hard, and I think it's not easy to do in the sense that you got to like really pre-plan and build your engine, your technology to accommodate for it, and that was a big learning for Mass 1. We did 2 pieces. We wanted to do more. Mass 2 will have more. There's a lot of really awesome plans. I think one thing too is a lot of times you have to start them in advance. Like, I mean, Dragon Age actually has DLC day one because we worked on it before. We worked on the pipeline. I mean, Mass Effect's following the same approach. Some of the same guys are helping out to make sure that you can continue to explore the galaxy and find cool stuff. And I think that was one of the really cool things that I think we wanted to do on Mass 2 was make sure that DLC fit very naturally. I think I'm very happy with how that fit together. So there is DLC in Mass Effect 2.
Good to know. All right.
Big reveal.
Can all breathe easy now. So the character of Rex has become sort of we're big fans. Let me put it that way. He's become sort of iconic to us. I was hoping maybe
not to everyone, because he may not be in some people's games.
Don't say that. Don't say that.
I'm not saying why. No. I mean,
we'll find out. We'll see how it goes.
Well, you remember what happened in Mass 1, don't you? Depends.
Okay, yeah. Well,
I'm not spoiling. I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not paying any spoil.
Right.
But no, I mean, because this is
he's still in my game.
Well, that's what's amazing about Mass Effect.
Yeah,
honestly, like, because you can have you and I can sit together at the water cooler and say, I love blah blah blah, and you're like, who? And you go, oh, I never met him, or like, or he's dead, or he's missing, or it's very, very cool how that all works. So, sorry to interrupt.
No worries. But I was just hoping you could send us off with your own Rex impression. We've all done our Shepard, from time to time. I just wanted to hear yours.
I remember, I think the one phrase he says in that very pivotal moment was like, "Don't do this, Shepard."
All right, there you have it.
And you remember what happens after that.
There you have it.
There you go. I should have done that into the camera. That might scare the kids out there, though.
Yeah. Save something for the next interview.
Don't do this, Shepard.
Shepard.